Minimum wage laws have made headlines in recent days as New York has passed a $15 an hour minimum wage. While acclaimed by legislators, this law has met with a mixed reception, begging, of course, the obvious question: do minimum wage laws really help the American economy? Unfortunately, they don't. And I'll show you what I mean with an example of Nate, a student in New York. Minimum wage laws ensure that students like Nate are paid a minimum amount for completing their job, and for Nate, working at a restaurant, that used to be $10 an hour. But now, he's being paid $15 an hour to complete the same job. Sounds awesome, right? Well, it does until you consider that those extra dollars had to come from somewhere. Nate's employer is faced with two options. They can raise the price of their food to increase revenue to pay Nate more, or they can do things like lay off employees or have Nate work less in order to pay him this increased amount without breaking the payroll budget. In either case, no one comes out ahead, especially not the people who got laid off. You see, either Nate is being paid more, but he's working less, so he's not actually coming away with any extra actual dollars, or he is coming away with extra, but the value of those extra dollars is lessened because the value of the goods and services that those dollars could have been traded for has risen at a commensurate rate. Well, why? It's because it's not only that restaurant that's subjected to this new law, but the university that Nate attends, or the apartment complex where Nate lives. All of them are facing the same dilemma that Nate's restaurant is. Let's put a figure on that dilemma. The Foundation for Economic Education observed on February 22nd that one 4-location restaurant in New York is facing $600,000 in increased labor costs for 2019. And that money has to come from somewhere. Really though, this dilemma shouldn't surprise us. Austrian economists like Hayek and von Mises have highlighted the dangers of artificial government intervention in the marketplace for centuries. Because we live in a capitalist society, the market will always find ways to balance, will always find ways to work around artificial government interventions like these, meaning that these laws really only hurt the very people they're trying to help. So while they do create talking points for politicians, and while minimum wage laws are passed with the best of intentions, they create the worst of outcomes. They should be rejected by Americans in New York, Seattle, San Francisco, and really anywhere else.